Good afternoon, ladies, and depending which time zone you're at, good morning and good evening. Welcome. On behalf of Maggie Kigorski and myself, she's the president of BPW Uganda, I want to welcome you all to today's event, the second in a series of 5 events organized for the celebration of BPW's 90th anniversary. Happy anniversary to everyone. It is so good to see you all here. For those of you who do not know me, I am Mariella Camilleri. I'm the president of BPW Malta, and it is BPW Malta is a young club, and this year we're also celebrating our 10th anniversary. We are very proud of all that we have achieved here in Malta. Today's topic on the agenda is intergenerational dialogue. It is my strong belief that every organization requires inclusion and engagement of new and younger members for it to continue to progress forward. During the last 90 years, BPW has worked tirelessly towards the empowerment of women. We have joined forces with the United Nations and other local global organizations to this effect. I believe now more than ever, we need to continue working towards bringing in younger women, not just join, but also to be active within BPW. Mentoring has been and continues to be a very important function and factor in each of our lives. We mentor younger generations inherently, and BPW has always believed in the power of mentoring. In fact, here in Malta, we organize a careers day where, as of the last one, we had over 500 women from every sector and profession come and mentor over approximately 1,500 14-year-old students. It is always a great success and has become part of the participating schools' curriculum. However, we cannot stay there. We need to create a dialogue between the generations. We need to continue to listen to each other and to learn from each other. We must engage with each other. It is imperative. We also bring our own strengths to the table. Both of us do. Creating a dialogue is important for us all. The more senior members will provide their experience, their expertise, their history of BPW, the know-how, and the excuse me, and the moving forward of BPW. The young ones will bring in their eagerness. They will bring their new and fresh ideas, models on how they would expect and operate, visibility into what they need and require from us for our sustainability as an organization. Excuse me. This dialogue will inherently result in all of us working together to create a structure of how we will and should operate, which provides an ongoing evolution to maintain BPW relevant and vibrant, plus its impact and longevity. Furthermore, developing a continuing dialogue will allow each of us to benefit from each other's experience and expertise in the business world, while creating a professional network of powerful women, because I believe we're all very powerful in our own sphere, in our own country, in all that we do. Therefore, we need to create opportunities for each other to work together, to dialogue together, and to move forward. I know that all of the work that we tirelessly do, and we will continue to do, will empower women, future generations. We will empower the younger generations, and speaking to each other, we will understand and work together stronger than ever before. We will create equality for women. We will work towards equality. We will work towards the empowerment of women going forward. As here at BPW Malta, we are part of the Consultative Council of Women's Rights. We work together with other female NGOs to propose changes in the law for equality of women, both in the workplace and in everyday life. We are also part of Empower, which is a platform of female NGOs where we feel that putting our voices together, we have a stronger impact going forward in achieving our goals and making our concerns heard and our voices louder. Sorry. As I mentioned earlier, here in Malta, we work with younger women because we find ourselves that locally, at the age of 14, they start choosing their careers and their way forward. So we want to show them and mentor them at that younger age that whatever their life goals are, whatever work goal they want to, their dream of, it's achievable. However, this is something that we also want to instill on the younger women. We want to give them the knowledge of what we've learned through the years, what we fought for through the years, what we've achieved as of today. However, we all know that it is not enough. We also engage young women as speakers in our events. We learn from them. They come in and they mentor us, the older generation, on how the new technologies work. They teach us about all the things that they're learning that maybe they're not so familiar to all of us. So let's make sure that we create and nurture intergenerational dialogue, and that we realize and that the need and the importance of this, and that working together we can create longevity, a powerful organization, a global organization that can create a unified voice. That's my little presentation today. So now we are going to go into 4 breakout sessions. We are all going to talk about our experiences, what we need, what we feel works, what our suggestions are. There will be a moderator in each of the breakout rooms. They will take notes, and at the end of which they will present the ideas and thoughts that came out of the breakout room. The sessions will last for 30 minutes. So see you in the breakout rooms. All right, everyone. So I am just going to share some of the thoughts and ideas and comments that came from my breakout room. First of all, thank you everybody for sharing and for contributing. And I'm just going to go sort of in order. We had everybody share except for one person. Unfortunately, we couldn't really hear her. So I think everybody expressed the same opinion or the same thoughts of how important BPW has been in one way or another in their lives, in those who have just joined, and also some of the members and the participants have been present for quite a while. We have the thoughts and ideas that came out of our discussion was that we need to talk to each other. We need to feed off and learn from one another. That we should not put the responsibility on the shoulders of the young, just especially when it concerns technology, that we should all rely on them, also on their input. That we supporting the young ones as they grow within the organization means guiding them also. It's not just giving them a role and expect them to move forward with it. We should focus to continually engage the young, especially when it comes to these roles, the longevity and the focus on them remaining for the term. We need a substantial reason to give to the young for them to be engaged, knowing how busy they are in their life with young families and young careers. One of the suggestions that came out, which is, I think, a great idea, is to look for easier ways to keep connecting on a personal level. We all, especially in these days, we're all connecting technologically wise, but being able to keep the connection one way or another, it's kind of difficult. Another one thought was the online clubs, that we make sure that we should join and become honor members of our own clubs. I'm going to be done shortly, Anne. And also that when someone comes in and joins, they come in with ideas and interactions and their excitement, that we should nurture and we should listen and show them that we're listening to them seriously and taking them seriously in their thoughts and opinions. We should also engage, create a strategy on to show how important the dialogue and share and engage young members as they come in. And one of the last ones that I had was she actually had the same experience. She went to the first meeting for the candle lighting ceremony of BPW. She fell in love, like I did, I guess, with the history and the strength that BPW brings with it, and she joined. And that's what I found is the camaraderie. I think most of us found is the camaraderie and the support and the mentoring of one another. So that's my report.
Mariella, would you just call on each of the moderators in turn?
Yes, all right. So I'm going to call next on Francesca Cassar so that she can report on her group.
Hi, everybody. It also was a very interesting discussion. Unfortunately, not everybody managed to speak, but most of them did, and they came up with some very nice, interesting points. As you said, Mariella, that the common feeling is that to interact and to have more conversations with each other, and also the elderly, or rather, which was very nicely put, the honorable members, which were people that would either have, are still members but aren't as involved, but they still call them in so that the young would listen to how BPW was built up, how also the experiences in their lives of industry, etc., could help make the young more aware of how things have been done. That obviously it's easy for us to come in and say, it's here ready on a plate, whereas this obviously that was done with a lot of hard work and a lot of sweat and a lot of the fight to get that justice done. So that was felt very important, that we need to always have the older generation in educating, maybe not the right word, but informing the younger generation about the past and what was behind and what will be, how things were formed. And for the young generation to show the elderly how to modernize ourselves and to be more productive in the new technology and the way things move now in our times. One comment which was very much what is very interesting as well is that Helen from the past president from New Zealand came up, also said that they also involved to get the young into more involved in such an event as BPW, was that they do something very similar to what we do as a careers day, is that they go to the students of university and they interact and they do some workshops, and also that would help them also get into some high professional companies, which would then lead them to better places in the work job, which is one of the things that obviously as us as BPW strive to do, is to empower our women and ourselves. But basically the main, as I'm going to finish off, is that mainly the keeping that the conversation between the two. So the honorable members, not to call them the and the young, to basically work together hand in hand and to keep the dialogue going and to always listen to both sides. It's not just what the honorable members say goes and vice versa. It's basically gelling the two together and to work together to make it a better place for everyone, really, in the end.
Thank you, Francesca. Now I invite the monitor for the third breakout room, Dorian Gauci, to present the report. Dorothy, are you on mute? Maybe.
Yes. sorry about that. So in our group, most managed to add in a word or two, but maybe, unfortunate everybody had time. There wasn't enough time for everybody to contribute. We heard about different experiences regarding their mentoring programs. Some are finding it difficult to get mentees on board or even mentors on board, but other committees seem to be managing well with their mentoring programs, where the young professional women are gaining experience by skills and also empowering themselves by communicating with the those ladies who are already established in their professional careers. We had also contributions from Brazil, for example, where they targeted their healthcare workers during this time, the COVID period, and they tried to support them in a way that they needed to be supported, such as support from psychologists, also lawyers, and regarding data protection. So this is in their program at the moment. They're targeting this issue, which is also very in. We also heard about how the younger members are empowering the the older generations by teaching them how to use Zoom, how to use social media, how to get together virtually. We also heard how Brazil is working by contributing in the G20 group. There was a very interesting, I found this very interesting, how Ireland is getting the young members to shadow the already established committee members. So for every secretary, there's a shadow secretary. For the cashier, treasurer, there's a shadow treasurer, and these are the young members. And I find that yes, very interesting, and this empowers the young ones, and so that they they learn how to do the job later on, and then in the future they might become the established board members. Also, we heard about how the virtual clubs are coming up. They're increasing in number. These committees are setting up virtual clubs because that seems to be the way forward for the immediate future. So sisters are getting together virtually. We also had a young BPW member in our group. And she said how she used to see her mother as a BPW member, but never was really interested until suddenly she saw the international potential of this thing, and this got her flying, and she became a member. And she was talking to us about how she was very much encouraged, enthusiastic into taking a leadership role by joining. She was very active in teaching fellow members how to use social media, how to use Twitter, and she said she's very proud to be part of the executive board. So this is how the generations are getting together and they're gaining from each other. She said she has gained a lot of accessibility by being a young member in a BPW group. And when asked how she's also being helped, she said, they tell her, "No, you're doing well, you're succeeding, and this is the right way to go in your professional career." And that seems to be the field that at least the young members, they also stand to gain, and vice versa, the already established members of the BPW groups around the world, they have also something to gain from the young members. That's basically what was talked about in our group.
Mariella, should I take the floor?
I'm here. I am actually just about to introduce you. Now we have the last but not least, Maggie Kigozi, President of BPW Uganda, to present the report of her breakout room and then to do the closing remarks. Thanks, everybody. Nice seeing you all. Maggie, it's in your hands.
Okay, thank you, Mariela, and it's lovely working with you. This is lovely where we share coordinating the event. I think we have done well. People say we're there okay. So intergeneration dialogue. We had a good discussion in our group. The older members very much wish to hear from the young. So although we were expecting them more confident to speak first, but they were determined that they wanted to hear from the youth. And that's exactly what we did. Looking at knowledgeable, like young women, will make very confident older women. So it's great that BPW is looking to build the capacity of young women before or during their early years, work years, and we will benefit from very, very confident, very expert, very knowledgeable young women in the end. Pinella from Europe talked about the symposium of young BPW that she has done in various countries. And these have worked very, very well, bringing, from different countries, young BPW together. And they come up with what their decisions and what they would like to do. And they take back home what they learn from one another. From the young people, we heard from how Nigeria has over 50 young BPW. They work on various projects. They do attend the meetings. They contribute ideas. And they actually also provide the trainings for the older generation in some of the areas like technology that they know. But they also learn from the business and the professional women. We also heard that from Nepal today, and I attended that, they did Women in Politics today, teaching one another, looking at how New Zealand is doing it and how Nepal is doing it and where we have shortcomings. It was a very, very interesting meeting, I must say. And it was young BPW from Nepal that were leading this. ERA also mentioned how they are doing this in Nepal, how the young BPW are contributing. Bessie is excited about the young coming in with new ideas, new thoughts, the digital, the renewed energy. The energy is beautiful. We have a strong BPW group in Uganda, and that energy, you can't stop them. They are making you run where you may not feel like running at times. So they are being trained as leaders and chairs and vice presidents of various sessions, all meetings. Whenever there's a BPW meeting, and I think this happens everywhere, you are there to learn. Each of us is picking up something from either the older ones, the younger ones, the diverse groups of people that are in the room. So every session must have a learning component for a lot of us, and that helps BPW members to be well informed. Nilima, we had, is the young representative for BPW International, and she's being asked by some countries to help them where they have had difficulty setting up a young BPW group and attracting young members, and she will be there to train them. We heard about the intercontinental meeting that's been ongoing for quite a few years with Geraldine, where all of us from different cultures come together and talk about our countries, and nowadays talk about how COVID is affecting us. It is a tool as BPW that we can use more. She would love to be able to train university students as they go to different countries. They are able to learn and to have an international, there is also an international mentoring task force that you can call on. Those of you who are being challenged with how to deal with young BPW, how to attract them, there is a mentoring task force that is available to help us. We had in New Zealand, there are 60% young people, and advocacy for youth and disability is able to be done. I think I will stop there. Those were some of the issues. Not all of us were able to speak, but those were the contributions from our team. So it is my opportunity now to thank you and to close this meeting. We have 2 more minutes. I want to thank you, very good attendance, and we look forward to the 3 more sessions to be equally well attended. Tomorrow it's leadership, same time. Come and join us. We also had a number of other issues towards the end. We had about universities, going to universities to look for members. I see my own young universities and high schools. Career guidance. We are looking at COVID. How are we managing it? How are we managing it together? And I think that's an important one. How are we supporting? I know the African BPW members have contributed food, equipment, protective equipment for health members, things like that to our people who are suffering in this COVID lockdown and not being able to work. The other one, we find often the young BPW are very keen on the UN SDGs. If this is a topic, they are very, very interested in it, and they want to see and guide our countries on how we can achieve the SDGs. I loved the shadow member secretary, shadow member chair. I think that's a brilliant idea of mentoring, role modeling for the young members, young BPW. The issue of virtual clubs, we are stuck with virtual, whether we want to or not. And really, now that we've been having it, I would have had to get on a plane and go miles and miles to be at this meeting, just like all of you. It would have been nice to be with you, but it would have been time, it would have been money. And so really virtual is going to work for us. We have seen among even yourselves, Mariela, for example, who started in BPW some years ago. She started maybe not so long ago, but there are some who've been there for years. I know Frida and Yasmin, who were presidents, had been in BPW from when they were fairly young. I don't know how young, but they were definitely young. So if we can build the capacity of our girls, they have the opportunity to really do great work. So ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good evening tonight, and let us be together again tomorrow. Let us share, let us talk leadership as we celebrate 90 years of BPW. Thank you so much.